So, hello, nice to meet you. Thank you very much you took time for talking a bit about your band, your new album. First question, how should one freely live in Southampton?
Well, I'm not from Southampton. He is. So this is Dan's question.
Go out, drink, have a great time, as per usual. I like to go out skateboarding. That's pretty much my my fun times, my fun activities, and then go out in the nightlife. But it's a great place to live, and yeah, I dig it. So
okay, it's not so bad.
No, it's pretty
good. So where are you from?
Like half an hour down the road in a place called Portsmouth. So rivalries, rivals to his city. But no, yeah, it's same sort of vibe though. Like it's I live by the sea. We both do to a certain extent. So it's yeah, very chilled vibe. Like I live by quite a few bars by the beach. So yeah, just relaxation, man. When I get home, I just like to relax and hang out with some friends and just enjoy myself.
Cool. Okay, it's not so bad as I thought.
No, it's wonderful.
I don't know, I have to say, I don't know nor Southampton nor Portsmouth. Can you tell some words, few sentences about you personally?
Yeah, okay. Me personally,
You're a chill. I'll say a couple of words about you.
Okay, and then I'll say a couple of words about you.
Okay, interesting too.
You're a chill dude. You've got beautiful eyes.
Thank you so much.
Great bone structure. Incredible musician. Well, the list goes on really, but there's a few words.
Dan, you know, struggler. He's a struggling kind of guy.
Struggler.
Things, you know, obviously not the best looking guy in the world, so he struggles with that every day. He doesn't take a photo very well either.
No,
I know that.
Awful. It is awful. I try.
We're pretty. I'd say we're quite alike in our chill ways. Though we're both very chill people, and I think the whole band are. To be fair, we're quite relaxed and yeah, just
normal dudes.
Normal dudes. We're not very different. There's not really good stories with us, really.
No, we're quite boring.
Something about his eyes.
His eyes?
Yeah.
Best eyes I've ever seen.
Best eyes.
Best of it.
It's not the first time I've been told that.
No.
So for the ones that don't know Bury Tomorrow, Bury?
Yeah, it's the other way, yeah.
What kind of band you are?
We're a melodic metal band. In a nutshell, I mean we take influence from Parkway Drive, Bones Red, heavy bands like that, and then we also all take influence from melodic music as well. A lot of melodic music, even as far as pop. So we try and mix all of our influences into our genre. Really, try and make it as the metal as heavy as it can, and the melodic as it can. Try and make those extremes, you know, as sit so they work, but also so they're extreme. So yeah, I mean, melodic metal band is probably the best way to sum this up, I'd say.
Okay, so my next question will match, I think, because Wikipedia tells something else. Tells you're a metalcore band. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, metalcore is kind of a flag that you can fly under when you are a melodic metal band. It's kind of the same thing. It's just literally stems from metal mixed with hardcore. So yeah, I mean, yeah, we've said for years that we are metalcore, but for people that maybe don't know that genre, it is literally just melodic metal with hardcore influences. And yeah, it's as Jay said, it's all about riffing and melody side, but also the real heavy side that we've all grown to love in the metal side of things. So that's it.
You talked about Bones Red and Parkway Drive. I have some others. As I Lay Dying, Chimera, We Came as Romans, Killswitch Engage. Most of these bands come from the US.
Yeah, they do.
You have any idea why this is?
I think for a long time they were better than anyone else had. So you know, you've got bands like Killswitch Engage, As They Dying. You know, no one could touch them for a long period of time. So I mean, the UK was catching up. I think for a while. I'd like to think that we're a part of the catch up. Yeah, I think the USA is a big country. I think law of averages is that you're going to get more talent that comes out of it because there's more people for the talent to be in. So I think it's just one of those. I think America in general is a big part of the world, and I think the rest of the world, that impacts the rest of the world on a daily basis, and especially in the music scene. So yeah, I just think that's what it is. It's a bigger country, so we're always competing with that. But no, I think the UK is having a good spell at the moment, and we've definitely got a lot of young bands that are coming up, and a lot of bands that have been around for a while as well that are actually finally getting recognition now. So yeah, so there's a good buzz in the UK at the moment for metalcore.
Okay. You don't think that the USA and the style, the genre metalcore has something to do with it?
I mean, they have, like, over the years, like, the US have had quite a polished production sound. They've always had the best producers to go to and whatnot. You know, we have, as Jay said, our country is a lot smaller, so you know you have a lot less diversity when it comes to, say, producers or even things as trivial as making a video. You know, there are certain people that you go to, and there's certain people that you just don't in the UK. Whereas I think in the US there's a lot more avenue for, you know, for seeking out the best production in your music. And you know, I think the US as well, is because it is so big, people can tour there their whole lives. You know, and they don't need to leave the country and to have a lucrative career. So with the UK, you always have to leave. It's so small. You can do a 10-day tour and then you've gone up and down the country. You know, yeah. With a country that's 8 hours in span from driving, you know, there's only so many places you can play. So I think the US does have that, and that in turn, when you get out touring, you know, bands get better. So I think that helps their music as well, especially for young bands. You find a lot of the bands that have, say, only been around for about a year will be really tight and really know their stuff because they've played in so many different venues around the country. Yeah, that's probably it.
In 2012 you switched, you came to Nuclear Blast. Did this change the progress of your music, of your being a band?
I think signing to Nuclear Blast represented us wanting to go down a certain avenue with our music, as far as we wanted it to be what we wanted it to be, you know, and Nuclear Blast allowed that. So yeah, I think that was the biggest reason we went with Nuclear Blast, was just that we knew that they put metal first. You know, it was about, and that's what we wanted. You know, we first and foremost are a metal band, and then everything else comes second, and that's how we wanted to be pushed. And I think that you know, the past year or two have been a lot more positive than the 2 years we were without, 2-3 years we were without them. So yeah, it did change us as far as just we wanted to be perceived as a metal band, and I think to more people than we have been perceived as a metal band, to more people than maybe we would have done without Nuclear Blast. So definitely a positive impact for sure.
If I ask musicians these questions, I nearly always get the same answer. So I'm sure you also always wanted to be a musician.
Well, I get asked this question a lot, but I guess in all honesty, no. Not necessarily, not that I didn't want to be a musician, but it wasn't necessarily on the cards for me either. I was interested in a lot of things when I was growing up, but I didn't really explore music until I got into college. In school, I was I was into my sport. I like my football a lot. And then I went to college, and I only because I played guitar a little bit, and then I went to college and explored that, and then met these guys and explored into the band. So for me, it was more. It's become my dream whilst touring, to be honest with you. But I mean, it's an amazing lifestyle. It's an incredible job to have, and I wouldn't change it for the world. And I think everybody, in a way, you know, the principles of what we do, I think everybody dreams about doing that in a way. So yeah, I mean, it was always my dream to be comfortable and doing something I love. So in that respect, yeah. But then at the same time, I never saw myself as a musician from an early age. That came along the road. But I think Dan was probably a bit different.
Yeah, I mean, I always was into bands. I was always a drummer of a band, and until I got a little bit later on in my school life, where I kind of explored being a frontman. But generally, like as Jay said, it's not a lifestyle that you generally think is going to be sustainable and that you're going to be able to do for the rest of your of life, because at the end of the day it's such a tempestuous job to have. You know, one day you can be on top of the world, the next day it can be the worst day of your life in a band. I think any entertainment industry job is like that. You know, I think whether you're an actor or an artist or a musician, I think it's kind of the same thing really, that, you know, it's all interpretation. So if that genre once goes away, you know, people don't like that genre anymore, then, you know, generally our job is kind of null and void. Whereas I think with more traditional jobs you have more stability, but you also don't get to see it possibly as many places as we have, you know. So the highs do outweigh the lows, but when the lows come creeping up it can get really bad. But yeah, I mean, generally I was interested in music, but as I said, I just never thought I'd be able to do it, you know, be able to tour around the world, be sat here.
Definitely, I think we're all quite realistic people, and I definitely don't think we you know, it would be wrong for me to sit here and say that I was always meant to be doing this. This was where I was meant to be. In all honesty, I don't believe that. I believe that life isn't like that. You know, it doesn't work like that. Yeah. You have to work hard at certain things, and if you get lucky enough to get an opportunity, then you make the most of it. And this opportunity that we got, to me personally, was a bit of a surprise, and I was like, this is crazy, and you know, we made the most of it, and it's got us to this point. And yeah, definitely, it's become my dream to do this. I mean, it's amazing.
Okay, so you both did also learn some serious job?
I used to work before the band.
Yeah,
I used to work in Waitrose, a supermarket chain in the UK. I wasn't a very academic person. I struggled with that big time. So yeah, I went, and my family are plasterers mainly, in the labour trade. So I delved into that for a few years before this. So yeah, I think.
Yeah, I mean, my family's like super academic, so it was always going to be that I was going to go into education. I was actually thinking about training to be a fireman when I was in college, but I mean, generally I joined the band when I was a little bit younger than the other guys, so it kind of was at the point where I hadn't made any decisions as a job yet. I've been working all my life, obviously. I've done bits and bobs here and there. I used to work in the retail industry for a long time, but yeah, I mean, I joined the band when I was 16, so it's 16, 17 is when you kind of make your decisions in life, so I kind of had it made for me, really. Getting a phone call at 3 in the morning about a label telling you you're going to be signed at 17 is something that most 17-year-olds don't get, so I kind of had my decisions made for me, you know.
So you can live from music, or?
Yeah, luckily, touch wood. We're very lucky. We do. You know, obviously we don't earn a lot of money. There's not expendable cash going around. We don't get to live a lifestyle where there's Porsches and boats, and, you know. But we do manage to get by, just about, and we pay all of our rents, and we pay what we need to pay. And I mean, the thing is, we're not at home a lot, so you know, it's when we're on the road, it's kind of, you know, we obviously we come to a venue every day, and we have the catering and the food stuff. So in a way, we don't spend a lot of money with this lifestyle. So so to a lot of people, the money we get would be nothing, but to us, it's actually quite a lot, because you know, we don't spend it as much. So yeah, I mean, to me, we earn enough, but 90% of lifestyles in the world probably wouldn't be able to make a tangible lifestyle out of what we earn. So
yeah, I mean, generally you're in a business, aren't you? So our business is quite lucrative, but when it always goes, you know, 5 ways between the band, and then 7 ways between, you know, all the other people that are involved in making your business big. You know, and I think it's like that with any business. We're not at the top of our game yet, so at the end of the day, I think, you know, when we get there, if we get there, I hope we do, but you know, from there you can look at a lucrative career for the rest of your life. But you know, it's all about getting and striving to be at the top of your game.
Your grandparents, they know what you're doing?
Yeah.
They like your song?
Yeah, well, I'm lucky because I sing, so my nan's a big fan of what I do, you know, but yeah, I mean, I don't think they understand it completely, but
I think they just respect it. They respect the fact that they're happy that we're happy. My grandparents are anyway. They always worry because they remember the music industry when they were younger. But you know, at the end of the day, I think they understand. When you start touring around the world, I think I saw a big shift in my family, and especially when I left Europe and did America and other places like that, and Japan, because I think that's when you're looking from a normal job's eyes. I think you generally, that's what people put money and wealth on, is going to America and touring, and it's something that not a lot of people do. Whereas I think everyone's got a friend or has had a friend's son that's been in a band and played around the UK. You know, I think pretty much 90% of the people in the world, 90% of the families will have someone that's in a band, because it's a fun thing to do. So I think that was the big shift in my family, is when we got outside of Europe, people were, it's just, as I said, it's just making proud of us. They're proud of what we're doing. They don't really like what I do because it's not really singing. But generally, I think it's more of an intrigue. They're intrigued by it, you know. As long as you've got a family that loves you, I think generally they're going to be quite happy for you to do things.
So you talked about your singing that's not singing, so you're the role.
I am, yeah.
Part. Okay. Yeah, because that's something very interesting for me with metalcore. This correlation between role and non-role. It's very. You also have a very soft parts in chorus on your album. The new album you made will be released end of May. It's the album's called Roots. What can you tell about this album?
It's, in a nutshell, I mean, it's heavier and it's faster than anything we've ever done before. It's our first with our new guitarist, Kristen, which is a big point, because I think you can hear that on the record. And I think that, you know, it's the third record, so it's you know, the third album down the line. We're, you know, musically a lot better. I feel we've honed down on what we do a little bit better.
I think we're comfortable. It's kind of like a comfortable. It doesn't sound comfortable. Obviously, we're pushing ourselves, but I think generally we're more comfortable in our genre and our style than we've ever been before. It doesn't sound contrived. It doesn't sound like we're trying to be anything that we're not. I think we spent the whole of the Union of Crowns touring cycle honing down that sound as much as we can. Obviously, as Jay said, when we got Kristen, it really locked that in. He has all the same influences that we grew up listening to, you know, and I think that really does help in the writing process, and it really does help in the recording process as well, because you've not got any shocks and you haven't got any moments where you're like, that doesn't sound very good. It's like, you know, it's a touch wood. I hope people enjoy it as much as we do, because I'm honestly the most proud of this album than of anything else we've done. So.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Okay. Not thinking long, just talking. I'm going to give you some notes, and you answer me with one sentence.
Okay.
For that note. First one is Boy George.
Hats. Loads of hats.
Strange man. Great music, strange man.
Okay, next one is best food ever.
Domino's pizza.
Burgers. Or any burger ever invented is the best.
Okay. Tom Tank Barkley.
The Tank. I never thought I'd be asked a question about Tom Tank Barkley. He is
almost the greatest TM in the world.
Almost.
Almost.
Oh my god.
Okay, so it's much more than 2 minutes.
Yes, he's really good at lots of things, just not amazing at one.
I'm not going to challenge this.
Yeah, don't.
Okay, next one is
I'll be really tacky.
Angelina Jolie.
Hot.
Lips.
Lips.
Great lips.
Yeah, she's just an.
Not that I've seen her lips or anything.
They're lying now.
Yeah.
It's not the first thing.
Incredible actress. Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
I think she was Tomb Raider.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah. Alright.
Yeah, it was. Switzerland.
Awesome. Beautiful. Yeah.
Mountains.
Yeah, we drove through them today, so it kind of helps us envisage how nice it looks. It's
I mean, it probably is the best looking place I've ever been.
Yeah, definitely.
Where did you come from? This
Italy. We stayed at Lake Como yesterday.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. There wasn't 10 minutes that we weren't surrounded by mountains and lakes, so it was a really nice drive actually. We've done it quite a few times, but this time we just seemed to just sit in the mountains for the whole drive, so it was really good.
Cool. One more time, very spontaneous too. When was the last time you laughed till tears were running down your cheeks?
Probably on this tour, I would say. There has been a moment on this tour.
You tried, speaking of tank, the last time I cried laughing, and this is honestly to the truth, was we were in Austria, and Dan tried to pick up our guitar tech, Tom, and as he went to pick him up, he just went, and it just got me right there. It was so funny. It was really funny. It just if it was on film, then I'd be able to link you to it right now. But it wasn't, so it's just this memory. But yeah, I cried pretty hard.
Okay, so it's really very important for the band, I think.
No, yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
So now we'll come to the end, and this is your last chance now to tell famous last words to the fans in Switzerland.
Well, to the fans in Switzerland,
but in Europe also.
I would say thank you for checking us out if you have already. If you haven't, please do. Do not be influenced by the way we look, because obviously, you know, we've discovered that I have problems with my face, as Jake's quite rightly said. Yeah, thanks for checking us out, and if you like metalcore, you will like us, hopefully. Fingers crossed. And yeah.
Genuine guys playing genuine metal, and if you dig it, great.
If you don't,
if you don't come and tell us that you don't.
Yeah.
And don't go on the internet and tell us that you don't. We don't need that negativity in our lives.
No.
We're positive people. We just want positivity.
Okay, that's what I thought the last time. So I am hoping for a very good, very interesting gig. Also, please, good show, because I'm taking some photos afterwards, and so I hope will be the best one.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
So.